Welcome to another edition of You Shall Know the Truth and the Truth Shall Make You Free. I have a wonderful man from the United States, Bishop Nathaniel of IAC. That is Israel United in Christ. Now, today's topic is our oppression is prophesied. Our oppression. Now, we say if our oppression, which people? The black Hebrew Israelites who were taken captive into the four corners of the world, and to be precise, America. Now, Bishop, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. All praise to the Most High.
Yeah, you are online now. And today, are you alone?
Yes, I'm alone today.
Ah,
yes.
Okay.
Everyone's packing to go to Ghana, so everyone's packing.
Yeah. Okay, Bishop. I think we've been doing this program for the past weeks, and people are listening. We are broadening our horizon, and today we have the topic: our oppression is prophesied. Now, what do you mean by our oppression is prophesied?
Okay, when we read the Holy Bible, it prophesies that the Israelites would only be oppressed always, not all nations, but the Israelites. If we could, and that would be upon the black people that went into slavery, and those that are colonialized along the coast of West Africa. If we go to Deuteronomy 28, in verse 29, it reads, "And thou shalt grope noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways." Many times when I speak to our people, they always want to know, why are we, blacks, always financially oppressed? Why are we always suffering extreme poverty compared to other nations? So I'm going to read it again. "And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways." So we would not have prosperity.
Bishop. Sorry. Which chapter?
Deuteronomy 28.
Okay.
All right. So now you may say, well, some people in America have a lot of money, but the Bible is talking about Israel as a whole, as a group, as a nation. That's what it's talking about. Because even during the time of Moses, remember when he was in Pharaoh's house, Moses was wealthy, okay? You had certain Israelites that were set up as taskmasters in Pharaoh's house who were wealthy, like Dathan, Korah, On. Many of those Israelites were well off. But, so when we read Deuteronomy 28, it's talking about the same thing. When it says, "And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways," that's talking about us as a whole, collectively.
Yeah.
Then it says, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. You see that? Thou shalt be only oppressed.
That is which verse?
Verse 29.
Verse 29. Okay.
Yes. So it's saying that we would be oppressed evermore, meaning always we would be oppressed as a people, and spoiled evermore. And no man shall. You see that part where it says, "And no man shall save you"? That means no one can save us from the condition that we're, the poverty, the oppression. Like you had great leaders that rose up. You had Marcus Garvey, okay? You had Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. You had Nelson Mandela in South Africa, who tried to redeem the people from the oppressive state they were in, okay? But the Bible said, no, no man would be able to save you, okay? So verse 30, "Thou shalt betroth the wife, and another man." So when a white man was oppressing our women, have sex with them at his whim, okay? It says, "Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof." Okay? So the Bible is talking about our harsh oppression that we would always suffer under. Now, watch this. Now remember, it goes along, remember during the time of the Congo, under King Leopold II.
King Leopold II. Yeah.
Yes, and this is how Belgium became very wealthy, through the oppression of our people, okay? This is what they did. Now, when you go to Ecclesiastes in the Bible, Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7, okay?
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7. It says, "Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart." So let's examine that verse right there. Surely oppression makes a wise man mad. So, what do you think that first part is saying, Papa Nee?
Yeah. Then it simply means when you put someone in captivity, you destroy the person mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Yeah.
Right.
And maybe the person is a chosen vessel of God. The person has laws that govern his life. And you take that law away from him and you started to give him the laws of the world. Actually, the person behaves in an abnormal way.
Yeah, yes. Now, look, notice it says, surely oppression makes a wise man mad.
Yeah.
We are wise people. We know right from wrong, justice from injustice. Okay? We know liberty from oppression, liberty from salvation. We know the difference. So we become very angry. Some of our people respond foolishly, and they go out and steal, rob, and kill. You understand?
Yeah.
But the Bible says oppression makes a wise man mad. Us being wise and angry, the wisdom we have to use to help come out of the condition is gathering together, working together, sharing resources together, sharing wisdom together. Okay?
Yeah.
This is what a wise man would do. Now notice this. The bottom part of that verse says, and a gift destroyeth the heart. What do you think that gift is that destroys the heart?
Yeah, that is also very deep. Now there are some people in authority that they receive bribes and they pervert injustice. Right,
exactly. They pervert justice. This is why, remember I was saying earlier, you have some blacks in America who are very, very wealthy. That's a gift that was given to them, and as a result, they turn a blind eye to the injustice that happens to the majority of us. Okay? This is why even during the time of Egypt, remember, Egypt gave Moses fame and fortune. They gave Dathan, Korah, and On seats of authority over the other Israelites so that they would turn a blind eye. But Moses, in his righteousness, still retained right from wrong. And Moses gave up all the wealth that he had. So, for example, when you go to the book of Hebrews, to show you what Moses did, Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 24. It says, by faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. You know what kind of honor it was to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter? You had wealth, fame, everything you want is yours. Moses gave it all up, okay? It says, esteeming the reproach of Christ greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. So Moses knew it would be better to suffer with the Israelites for a short time because God would soon deliver us. That's what a lot of our people don't understand. They want to become athletes and get gifts, sponsorship, endorsements. Like you have Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
I forgot the Ethiopian brother that always wins the marathon. It's a few that always
Gabriel Selassie.
Yes. These athletes who are very good in their field, they get financial gifts. Okay. Then all of a sudden, they forget the oppression of their people. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm confused now. This is what they do. So in America, they give certain blacks very good jobs, high positions, and you get paid very, very well. And many of those people turn a blind eye to the injustice they see. This is why it says, and a gift destroyeth the heart. They give welfare, homes, and houses to certain blacks, and they turn a blind eye to injustice. You understand?
Yeah.
So now, watch this. When we go to Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 30. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31. Verse 31. Yeah. It says, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. What do you think that means?
Yeah. As you are saying, it is very clear. Now, do not envy. Now, through wickedness and injustice, the strong nations, they have acquired much wealth. And as we are in our oppression and in poverty, sometimes we begin to envy the way they get their riches. But God is also warning us not to envy their way.
Right. Very good. And if you notice some of our people, especially the women, you can see it. It's the men. So I'll talk about the men first. Our men envy the oppressor. What is one of the first things black men do when they get money? Who do they marry?
They marry the white man. Tiger Woods.
Yes. That's what they do. That's one of the first things they do, because they always envy the oppressor. They want to be with them. They love them. Some of our women, they dye their hair yellow. You ever see that?
Yeah.
The yellow hair.
It does.
Okay. Change the complexion to be white. Like, remember Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
He started to change his skin to look like a white woman.
And made a pointed nose.
Yes. These are the things that our people do. That's from envy of the oppressor. We envy their holidays. We want to sell. Even poor blacks, we say, oh, I hate white supremacy. But then we celebrate white supremacist holidays. You're still envying the oppressor, okay? You want to celebrate like they celebrate. You understand? Like 4th of July. You ever heard of that holiday here in America, 4th of July?
That is your Independence Day?
Yes. Black people here were still in slavery in the year 1776. So why do we celebrate that? Because we were not emancipated until 1865. But showing you the foolishness, the envy we have, we just love this, our oppressor, so much. They call it Stockholm Syndrome. Where you love your captor so much, you want to be like them. You want to marry them. You want to have their children, you know. This is a form of envy that our people go through, you know. It says, and choose none of his ways. We choose his politics. We love his politics. We choose his religions. Oh, if the white man's not in the religion, I don't want to be in it. This is what we hear in America, okay? We choose his, everything about him, his way of life, the way he eats, the foods he eats. We just love it. We want to be just like him. American blacks are like black white people.
They are black. They are black outside. Phenotypically, they are black, but genotypical inside them, they are white people.
Yes. It's like a scientific experiment. Yeah. Our minds are white, but our skin is black.
Yeah.
You know, and this is one of the results of it. Watch this. Let's go to. You have the Apocrypha or no?
Yeah, I have it, but it's in my bag unless I take it out.
Okay, I'll read it. When you go to Sirach 35, you know Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha.
Yeah.
Chapter 35 and verse 13. It reads, he will not accept any person against a poor man, but will hear the prayer of the oppressed. You hear that?
Yeah.
But will hear the oppressed. The Most High hears our prayers in our oppression. Our people don't believe it because they think they want Christ to come now when they want him. But our people are not ready for him to come now. Our lives have to change to the point where we are able to receive him and be delivered. Okay. Now watch this. In Isaiah 32. Go to Isaiah 32. Isaiah 32 and verse 5. You know, in America, we have many what they call liberal whites.
Yeah. Isaiah 32 verse 5.
Isaiah 32 verse 5.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it the foolish person will no longer be called generous, nor the miser said to be bountiful.
Right. Now you see that word that you use, generous?
Yeah.
In the King James version, it says, the vile person shall no more be called liberal.
Uh-huh.
So, which is the generous person? Saying the same thing, but understand the wording. The generous person is called liberal in today's English.
Mm-hmm.
Because what? They make you believe that they feel sorry for you and understand your oppression, and want to help you. God says they are foolish, they are vile, because there is a trick, a trap to them trying to help you. Verse 6, for the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy. The hypocrisy that they practice is they say, we understand what black people are suffering. And we are very remorseful, and we want to give you, like in America, they give us something called the United Negro College Fund, set up by liberal whites. And we say, oh, see, they love us. No. The United Negro College Fund, that's a form of aid, of assistance to help us go to college, but it keeps us calling ourselves Negroes. We're not Negroes, we're Israelites. The truth is we're Israelites, you understand?
Yeah.
Then you have the NAACP, also set up by liberal whites, and they say it is to help the plight of black people. But no, it is run and ran by so-called Jewish people. White men are at the top.
Yeah.
And the black people are the workers under them. So it's still a white organization. So these are your liberals, okay? It says, verse 6 again, for the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, to make the empty soul of the hungry, to make empty the soul of the hungry. We're the hungry. It makes our soul empty because they're not giving us the truth.
That's it.
Okay. And he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. Okay?
Yeah.
Instruments also of the churl, for in verse 7, read that. Let me hear how it translates it.
Okay. Also, the schemes of the schemer are evil. He devises wicked plans to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaks justice.
Right. So we speak right, we're the needy. We say, hey, what you're doing to us is not right. You say we are integrated, right? But we're not integrated economically. We may live around white people, but financially we're not integrated, the bulk of us.
Yeah.
There's a huge gap financially between us, you know. Their children go to the best schools. Our children do not go to the best schools. You understand? Their children get the best health care. Our children do not get the best health care. You understand? They get the best places to live. We do not. Okay? Verse 8, but the liberal devises liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. Let me see how yours translates.
But a generous man devises generous things, and by generosity he shall stand.
Right. So his generosity is still a slap in our face. His generosity is still not true generosity. Okay? Let's go to Isaiah 30 in verse 12.
Isaiah chapter 30 verse 12. Therefore thus says the Holy One of Israel, because you despise this word and trust in oppression and perversity and rely on them.
Right. So now, the Holy One of Israel is the Most High God.
Yeah.
It says, because you despise this word. Our people despise the law. When it says this word, Papani, it's referring to his laws.
Does
okay?
it?
Because when we speak to Christians and we say, they say, oh, I believe in the word. They like the general term, the word. They say, we believe in the word. No. But when it comes to his laws, they don't accept God's laws. Like, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not bear false witness. They don't honor God's laws. This is why they set up false holidays like Christmas, Kwanzaa, Thanksgiving, 4th of July. This is why they love politics, democracy, because they reject God's law. It says, because you despise this word and trust in oppression. Politics was set up to oppress us, but we trust in it. Religion was set up to oppress us, but we trust in it. Okay? Then it says, and perversity or perverseness and stay thereof. You know what the perverseness is?
Yeah, to perverse something means to veer, to perverse something, like it's an injustice.
Right. let's go a little deeper into that.
Yeah.
The perversity that we like, America says it's okay for two men to get married. And our people go, okay, a large lump of us are going into same gender marriages, okay? Then they say, they give us condoms. In school, they give us free condoms. When they give us free condoms, what is the message behind that perversity?
Sex before marriage.
Yes.
Immorality.
Marriage. Right. This is what. So we go out and we have sex with whoever and whatever we want, and we trust in that. And if you speak against it, they say you are filled with hatred. You are a hateful person. Okay. You should be able to do whatever you want. That's the oppression and perverseness we stay on. It keeps us in sin. Okay? Now, watch this in Psalms 73 and verse 8.
Psalm 73 verse 8. Right?
Yes.
They scoof and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily.
Right. So you see that the translation, the King James Version, I guess, that they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. Your liberals do that. Many of these whites, you will tell them, hey, we are being oppressed. And they speak loftily like, no, there's nothing wrong with what you're going through. For example, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders, when they were running for president of the United States, they were asked the question about reparations. Each of them said, no reparations for black people. But all of them gave reparations to Jewish people. They all gave reparations for Japanese people for what the Japanese went through during World War II. But no reparations for black people. You see this?
Yeah.
So that's how they speak. They say, give them a job. Just give them a job. Give them welfare. That's how they speak loftily. Okay? Yeah. They don't understand. They refuse to see or understand what we go through. What do you say?
Yeah. That is that is the truth.
Yes. And it's from state to state, country to country where we go, we see the same thing. It's like even in African nations, when you look at the leadership over many African nations, they were put there or allowed to sit there by European nations. Yeah. And if those black leaders throughout West Africa even rebut or go against the what France and the European nations say there's a coup, somehow the military overthrows them. You ever see this? Okay. Here's another example. In Nigeria, Boko Haram, the religious leaders in Nigeria went to America's courts and asked for help against Boko Haram. America said, we will help you fight against Boko Haram if you accept homosexuality and abortion. Do you hear the evil behind this?
Yeah.
This is evil, you know? But and America helped finance Boko Haram. Where did they get those weapons from? The European nations are the ones funding them. How come the money does not run out for them? America funds these Arabs as well. Okay? These are the things that they do.
Yeah.
Get scared.
Yeah. You see, Bishop, I've been telling my people the same story. The example in Africa or in Ghana, we don't fabricate grenades. We don't fabricate sophisticated weapons. How come these people get these sophisticated weapons? It comes from the Western world. Yeah. Belgium is an example of it. Belgium is an example of it. Now, the Nigerian government went to America, like as you were saying, to ask for weapons to fight Boko Haram. They said no, the country is unstable, so there's no way they can sell the weapons to them. Okay, the Nigerian government also devised a plan to put money in an airplane, passenger airplane, to go to South Africa, to go and buy it in the black market. The moment they reach there, they blow the alarm that, oh, these people have stolen Nigerian people's money and they want to come and do a bad deal. So you understand?
Yes.
At the end of the day, they were not given the weapons, and the weapons that the Boko Haram has is more sophisticated than the military of the Nigerians. So how can they fight the Boko Haram?
Right. Exactly. Yep. That lets you're right. The West is behind it. All of it. It is very evil. Very evil. Watch this.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4.
Read verse 1.
Then I returned and considered all the oppression that is done under the sun. And look, the tears of the oppressed, but they have no comforter. Oh, the side of their oppressors, there is power, but they have no comforter.
So that's explaining what the oppressed, we are the oppressed. We have no comforter, okay? But on the side of the oppressor, they have power. They have nuclear armaments. They have sophisticated technology to keep the people in an oppressed state, okay? This is why the West is able to bully all nations, okay?
Yeah.
This is why they're able to set up leadership in the black nations, meaning the African nations around the globe. They set up the people they want to lead, okay?
Yeah. Example, like in Mali, the coup d'etat that happened in Mali. Now, there's a military general who came to America to come for a military course. Now, when he returned to Mali, he engaged the Malians in a military coup and toppled the government. So we can see the connection. Then after he toppled the government, then he called for new election. Meanwhile, it is only 3 months for the general elections to be conducted. So how can this happen?
Right.
Because France is the one operating there is a company in Mali called Ariba, and there is this thing. There is a mineral. They use that mineral for strategic weapons. Yeah. So you can understand the plot. Every time there is a coup d'etat in Africa, the Western world is behind it.
Right. There was about 67 coups within the last 50 years in Africa that was orchestrated by France, America, and Europe.
Yeah.
Okay, 67 coups in Africa alone.
Yeah.
You know, and like you said, anytime if the leadership does not do what they want, there's a coup. Get rid of him and put someone else there. They did the same thing in Haiti.
Yeah.
With Aristide. The same thing. Even Nelson Mandela. Many people love Nelson Mandela, but the Nelson that was imprisoned is not the same man that came out and became president.
Does it?
They broke his spirit. Okay? That's what prison and jail often does to a man. It breaks your mentality so that you become very docile to the oppressor. That's what happened with Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, because they had the political independence, all right, but economic independence is still being run by the oppressor.
Right. Exactly. So let's read that again.
Yeah. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 1. And look, then I returned and considered all the oppression that is done under the sun. And look, the tears of the oppressed, but they have no comforter. On the side of their oppression there is power, but they have no comforter.
Right. So our oppressor has power. They have economic power. They have military power. Now, their economic power. America has something, the IMF, International Monetary Fund, located in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
There's another World Bank that I forgot the name of the other financial institution. But America runs these things, and with the touch of a button, they can cut you off. Okay? That's what, when you go to Revelation 13, let's go there real quick, to show you how America oppresses the world financially. Revelation 13, verse 17.
Verse 7.
17.
Verse 17. Okay, I'm coming. Revelation 13, verse 17. And that no one may buy or sell, except one who has the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of its name.
Right. So, when it says that no man might buy or sell, it's talking about global trade, corporations who do big business. It's not talking about you and me going to the store, buying sneakers or buying a candy bar.
Does it?
This is going into nations.
A traffic.
And trading. Huh?
A traffic.
Yes, traffic. Very good. So it says no man can do that except if you have the mark. That is the policies of the European nation. You must accept their policies. If you do not accept their political agendas, they can cut you off financially. They press a button, all your finances is cut off in the bank. You understand?
Yeah.
They just did this with Russia. America just did this with Russia. America did that with Iraq. America does that with many nations. If you do not do what they say, cut you off.
And they are also doing it to the Iranians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. Now use the word traffic.
Yeah.
Go to Ezekiel 28, since you use that word.
Okay.
I like that word.
Yeah, Ezekiel chapter 28.
Let's start at verse 1.
Verse 1. So the word of the Lord came to me again, saying, Son of man, say to the prince of Tyre, thus says the Lord God, because your heart is lifted up, and you say, I am a God. I sit in the seat of gods, in the midst of the seas. Yet you are a man, and not a God. Though you set your heart as the heart of a God.
So now, let's examine that. That is a parable talking about the white man. Remember, Ezekiel went into the Babylonian captivity, okay?
Yeah.
Ezekiel was prophesying about Tyre. But the Tyre he's making reference to is a similitude to America and her European allies.
Yeah.
Like it says in Hosea 12 and 10, I gave visions to the prophets. How does it go?
And the similitudes. And the similitudes.
Right. So notice when it says Tyre, Tyre was a son of one of the children of Ahamite.
Yeah.
Okay. They're not in power today. So what is this talking about prophetically for us? Let's read it again, verse 2.
Okay. Verse 2. Is it? Let me see. The same place, verse 2, eh? Verse 2 again. I say, Son of man, say to the prince of Tyre, thus says the Lord God, because your heart is lifted up, and you say, I am a God. I sit in the seat of gods, in the midst of the seas.
Let's pause right there. Wait. Who is sitting in the seat of God with images of themselves as God and Christ?
That is the white man.
Yes, that is the white man. That's who this is talking about. The white man. Okay? It says, yet thou art a man. What man? The white man. It's not talking about man individual. It's talking about man in the context of a race of man. So what man? The white man. That's what this is talking about.
Because in my church room in Africa, Christ is a white man. So he's the one, he is the one, yeah?
Yes. All through Washington, D.C. at the White House, they have images of Jesus Christ as a white man. Even when you look at the Sistine Chapels in Rome, they have God as white, touching the fingers of Adam as a white man. Everybody is white, so-called white. What they're really Edomites, red. So this is prophesying about the white man. Let's read on.
Okay. Then verse 3. Behold, you are wiser than Daniel.
Hey, Papa Nee. You see the part it says, in the midst of the seas?
Yeah.
It means that this man is everywhere. His navy is everywhere in all nations.
Does it?
His CIA, his FBI, everywhere.
Never sit at home.
Exactly. Never sit at home.
And gathers all nations unto himself.
That's right.
And blood is in his hands.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Read on.
Okay, verse 3. Behold, you are wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that can be hidden from you.
Now, that, you know what that goes into? His technology. Like they have these smartphones, right?
Yeah.
These things record everything. And it goes to a database that the white man has set up.
Yeah.
They find your location very easily. They show you that technology in their movies. No, this is how they're able to find, like in America, they can find many terrorists very quickly. Okay? They monitor even this what we're talking is being monitored now.
Does it?
That's why I said, thou art wiser than Daniel. There's no secret that can be hid from thee. Okay? This technology that we love so dear is still a trap. The internet itself was created to monitor and activities of everyone. Facebook, for example. The government is involved in that. Okay?
The CCTV?
Say it again?
The CCTV.
Yes. CCTV, yep, exactly. So this man, that's why it says, though wiser than Daniel, there is no secret they can hide. They have satellites that can find you if you're the size of a pin, they can shoot a laser, boom, and hit you. You understand?
With precision.
Yes. That's the power they have on. This is why, like, we have many blacks in America. Oh, let's fight against the white man. I say, no, you're stupid. You're all going to die if you do that.
You know, yesterday I watched the film The Birth of a Nation.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, I watched it. Now, I don't know. I am going to summarize it in my way, but if there's any fault in the film, now the guy who had wanted to save his people, finally he died. Then it means that the power that the Western world or America has today, no black man can stand up as a leader to redeem his people. But it's only Christ that can do the job.
Yes.
Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
That is how I watch it with my family, and that is how we summarize it.
Yes. And did you see when he was reading the Bible,
yes,
to keep the slaves docile?
Does it?
But then he started to realize there was other scriptures.
Does it?
That his mind opened up to.
Does it?
You know, and it's so heavy. This movie was so heavy, so beautiful.
No, and there's a part in it when he opened. Is it to search out what is the name? Oh, that it's in the book of Samuel. And
yes,
was an Edomite, one of the kings of the Edomite. The Saul was commissioned to destroy.
Yes.
All of them.
Yeah.
But he failed to do it.
Right. And that's showing you they know the writer knows the white man is the Edomites.
Does it.
Let's read on.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we are in reading the verse 3 again. Behold, you are wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that can be hidden from you. Verse 4. So when your wisdom and your understanding, with your wisdom and your understanding, you have gained riches for yourself and gathered gold and silver into your treasuries.
So again, proving that this is the white man. America is the most richest nation on the earth. How? Because the first way they got money was by the slave trade. They had free slave labor for 400 or 500 years. Free labor. And they got wealth. Then they set up the tax process, okay, where they tax everyone. Not only their own citizens here, they tax other countries. And they call it foreign aid, okay?
Yeah.
They do things for those nations to get a little bit of money, but America's the one. Their financial debt they got over is don't fall for it. It's no debt.
No, you know this financial aid that you are talking of, and this plan behind that financial aid is called the Structural Adjustment Program. Now, you know what they do? They know that we are in poverty. So actually, when they give the money to you, there is an interest you have to pay. Now, sometimes we manage to pay the principal. But you know, every year, because we've paid the principal and we are still poor, the interest that they put on it keep on accumulating.
Yes.
Now, what they do is they tie a sovereignty, that's our national resources, as a collateral to the debt. So if you are defaulted in paying this thing, then you are going to pay it with your natural resources. So your companies and everything, they are there to take your resources to service the interest.
Right. Excellent.
that is how they are siphoning our economy over there. But you know, our people are still living in darkness. That when you say that the white man is part of the suffering of the black man over there, they never see it that way.
Right.
Because they are dealing with us in a very wise manner, like the Egyptians did to did to us in Israel. So this is what is going on. Now, before they topple the president of the ex-president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah wrote a book, and the American government warned him not to launch the book. Now, the title of the book is Neo-colonialism is the last stage of imperialism. Now, today, the white man is not coming to Africa to come and put chains to take us into slavery. But what are we going to do? We are going to use the financial system to siphon everything that is in them. And Kwame Nkrumah actually stood against those things. But they used the CIA, George Bush Sr., and a lot of agents that I cannot mention their names. That is how they plundered Ghana, and they toppled Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Now, what was the name of the book that he was putting together? You said the name.
Neo-colonialism is the last stage of imperialism. Now, in the book, you see the dollar also is being used as a reserve currency. So all the third world countries, we keep the dollar as an international currency. But anytime, you know, the Americans, they are the ones controlling the financial system. So anytime they do something so that the dollar falls, then all the reserves of the third world countries just goes down, boom. So Kwame Nkrumah actually wrote all this in the book.
That's heavy.
Yeah. And sometimes, you know, when you are telling your people or our people, and because, you know, there's poverty, the illiteracy rate is also very high, it is very difficult for some of our people to comprehend.
Right. Correct.
So this is the kind of warfare we are dealing with. And you see, Apostle Paul also said something. He said, when you are praying, don't pray like someone beating about a bush. You must know your enemy. You must know the one you are praying against. Because sometimes, you know, because of this, the idols and everything, when we go to church, we waste time to pray against those things. But those things, I can tell you, they have no power. But the one that actually siphons you economically, you cannot see it because you don't have the spiritual eyes to see it. Right. So this is the kind of engagement I've been arguing, engaging our people in set conversations, and try to use the Bible for them to understand the spiritual enslavement in which we are suffering, and those of you over there also suffering.
Right. You know what? I was reading up on what America did in Panama. Remember with Manuel Noriega?
Yeah.
You know, the Panama Canal.
Yeah.
Panama, when they built the canal, you know, the canal is the shortest route between the Atlantic and the what's the other ocean over there?
The Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean.
Right. It makes the travel of trade shorter. The route is shorter.
Yeah.
So America in the contract said, now it was being built in the 1900s, okay? And they said in the contract, if by the year 2000, Panama's military cannot protect the Panama Canal, America will assume authority over it. What happened? When the CIA set up Manuel Noriega, all of a sudden, Manuel Noriega, they said, oh, he's an evil man. He's a big drug dealer. So America went in and destroyed the military of Panama. Everyone. Then they said, oh, your military cannot protect the Panama Canal, so we own it now. This is what America did. There's a video on YouTube called The Panama Deception. Watch it. Very heavy.
Okay. And you know something also. Kwame Nkrumah also brought Dr. W.U. Du Bois to Ghana. And there's a project. The project was for this man to chronicle the history and the culture of the West African people. Do you know what happened? When he left the shores of America and reached Ghana, they ostracized him. Not to come back to the Americas. I don't know whether you know the story.
No, I don't know the story.
Yeah. He was ostracized not to come back to America. So Dr. W. Du Bois died in Ghana. Now, anytime we want to do any research, where do you have to go? Encyclopedia Americana, Encyclopedia Britannica. But Dr. W. Du Bois was brought in to chronicle the history and the culture for us to set up Encyclopedia Africana, so that the West African people can know where they come from. Example, like from Babylon to Timbuktu. We are all familiar with the book.
Yes.
And we can do the narration of the history after the AD 70, what actually happened all the way down to the West African coast. So then I realized that the white man even doesn't fear military or anything, but he fears one thing: truth.
Yes. 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 Yeah, exactly.
So this is the kind of game, and this is the kind of this thing, the spiritual warfare, and this thing we've been going through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, when we go back to Ezekiel 28, what verse were we in? Verse 5?
Yeah, we are in verse 5.
Read that.
It says, by your great wisdom in trade, you have increased your riches, and your heart is lifted up because of your riches.
This is what we were reading in Revelation 13. It never said no man could buy or trade, buy or sell, except you have the mark. This man set up the traffic. This man, the white man, set up all the rules and regulations to trade, the policies in order for you to trade as a corporation. America's the one that orchestrated and engineered all these things so that they can become the most wealthy nation on earth. This is what they do.
It is so clear. It is so clear. So I think that our listeners, they are listening to us. They are learning a lot of things. And I keep telling them that when we are doing the show, we are not like there's this kind of teaching going on. When they come, these prosperity preachers, it shall be well with you. Sow a seed. No. We are not doing that. But we try to bring the wisdom that is being hidden in this book for some years.
Yes.
That is what we've been trying to do. So, our listeners, please have patience with us.
Read on.
Yeah. Verse 5. I say, by your great wisdom in trade, you have increased your riches, and your heart is lifted up because of your riches. Now, verse 6. Therefore, thus says the Lord God, because you have set your heart as the heart of a God. Verse 7. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers against you, the most terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their sword against the beauty of your wisdom, and defile your splendor.
You see when it says the most terrible of the nations?
Yeah.
You know what the modern word is for terrible nations? Terrorists. Terrorists.
Yeah.
This is what it's going into.
Yeah.
This is why you have nations sneaking to come into European nations to do evil, to blow things up, to kill people. This is what God is prophesying through Ezekiel what happened to these nations in the last days. Okay? This is what will happen. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, we may not like terrorists. We say terrorists are evil. Yes, but it's prophesied it's going to happen because of the evil Babylon and these European nations have done to the world.
Yeah. That is good. Now, Bishop, I want us also to deal with this one because sometimes a lot of people are confused. But I think when you keep on repeating something, you repeat it, actually it has an effect. It actually sticks to the mind.
Yes.
Now, the number of the beast, which is the number 666.
Yes.
I want you to go over.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Revelation 13 again.
Revelation 13. Because you know the son of perdition must be revealed in our time.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Okay, Revelation 13. Let's start above it so we can get the thought of what's being said.
Revelation chapter 13.
Let's start at verse 13.
Verse 13, okay.
No, let's start at 12. Let's start at 12.
Start at 12?
I'll start at 11.
11.
We'll start at 11 down.
Okay. I see, then I saw another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and spoke like a dragon.
So now, this beast coming out of the earth that had 2 horns like a lamb, the 2 horns represent republicanism, Republicans, and democracy. Okay? And it says, and he had 2 horns like a lamb. They portray themselves as Christian. That's what it means, like a lamb.
Yeah.
They say America is founded on Christian principles, which is a lie. That's why it says, and he spake as a dragon. Because the Constitution, which allows, or the Bill of Rights, those things which allows freedom of religion, freedom of speech, all of these things, those principles are not biblical. Okay? They are satanic principles. Okay? Now when we read on, verse 12.
Okay. Verse number 12. And he exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence, and causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
Remember, Rome was overthrown around the year 193 AD. Rome came back in power as the Renaissance. From the time of Renaissance, you had Rome, followed by Istanbul, Turkey. You had Spain, Portugal. Then many of those nations came to this side of the world, okay? And they were fighting for supremacy over here. What did they do? They formed themselves, they united as one new nation in 1776 we call the United States of America, okay? That's what it means when it says whose deadly wound was healed. Because now Rome came back in power as America. America follows all the customs of ancient Rome. Look at the architecture around Washington, D.C. Look at the money. It's written in Latin, okay? Annuit coeptis, novus ordo seclorum. Those are Latin terminology based from ancient Rome, okay? Read on.
Okay, then 12. And he exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence, and causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the image, to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. 13.
That's wrong. Right?
Yeah, 13. He performed great signs, so that he even makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
So now, John is showing you one of the attributes of this beast. They would be able to call fire from heaven. That happened during World War II, okay? When America created the atom bomb. Remember? They dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It destroyed 2 societies of people, okay? There's documentaries of, and the nations, they have never seen such power before, where it literally was like fire from heaven. Because when it hit, everybody was dead. Everyone's dead. Okay, you remember that?
Yeah. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the fat man and the little boy.
Yes, that's what they call the 2 bombs.
Yes.
Now they got much more power.
Yeah.
Okay, read on.
Now, verse 14. And he deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those
You know what that power represented, how they were able to deceive people? You know what all the nations said? God is with them. God bless America.
That's it.
Everybody submits to America because America has power. Go ahead.
Yeah. 14. And it deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived.
So the key to the image, it lets you know when it says which was wounded by a sword and did live. Remember, that part is making reference to Rome, when Rome fell and came back in power. Remember, it was Rome that put up the image, or Rome that nailed Christ to the cross and crucified him. It was the Roman Empire. So the image that came from Rome during the Renaissance, they gave us a Renaissance image of Jesus. They put a white man, Caesar Borgia. He was the second son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome. That was the new image of Jesus Christ that they wanted all nations to bow down and worship. So that's what it means, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Read on.
15. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast.
Right. The breath that they gave the image of the beast is the life of Christ. They don't tell you that Leonardo da Vinci painted Caesar Borgia as the new image of Jesus. They say no. That image that you see in every church throughout the world, they say that's Jesus Christ. So the breath they gave him, or the life they gave him, is the breath and life of Christ. When you ask any child, who is that image? They all say Jesus Christ, the Son of God. You understand?
That's it.
Read on.
And that is the reason why Michael Jackson wanted to be like that Christ.
Yes. Read on.
That the image of the beast should both speak and cause. Yeah.
Wait. When it says that the image of the beast should speak, every year they hire actors that look like that image. And they do movies like King of Kings, The Passion of the Christ. And people sit in the theaters and cry, oh, Jesus, oh. And it speaks the words of the Bible. And it indoctrinates you into believing this image is real. People think that's the real Jesus Christ, and it's not. That is not Jesus Christ. But that's a form of mass cultural hypnosis, propaganda. That's how the image speaks, through their TVs, their technology, their television, their movies. Okay?
Okay. And 15. See, he was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as will not worship the image of the beast to be killed.
Right. So now, that's history. Historically, whenever the European nations conquered, beginning with, remember, Spain went forth, the Dutch went forth, Belgium went forth, America, France, many of them brought the image of the white Jesus to indoctrinate us in their new form of Christianity. And whichever slave did not worship the white image of Jesus, they killed us. This is how the majority of us became these new types of Christians today. You ask our people, why are you Christian? Why do you get the white image of Jesus? They don't know the history that the European nations were killing us if we did not worship that image. This is how we all became Christian today, this new form of Christianity. This is the history behind it. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead. And they say if you don't worship that image, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
That's what they say today in church.
It's amazing.
Yes.
Verse 16. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads.
Right. So this is talking about nations. When it talks about small and great, you have small nations of men and great nations. Rich and poor the poor nations go into third world countries, okay? Free and bond. The bond is still going into third world nations who are subject to Europe and America and France. Okay? Then it says to receive a mark in their right hand. Your right hand means you support it. Okay? When it says or in your forehead, means what's in your forehead? Your brain.
Your brain, your mind.
Right. Okay? Go ahead.
And that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
So, any man going into nations of men, any man that does not accept, support what America and their allies say or believe it, it says you cannot buy or sell, meaning you cannot trade, no traffic for you. They cut you off economically. You understand? This is what this white man does. This is what the Bible is prophesying about. We are seeing examples of that today in the world. Okay?
Okay.
Read it again.
Okay. It says, it causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads. Now, 17. And that no one may buy or sell except the one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
Now, the mark. I'll give you an example of the mark, okay? I'm going to go back historically with the Greeks. Let's go to the book of Daniel.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a precept. Daniel 8 and verse 25 is talking about Antiochus Epiphanes.
Yeah.
But I want you to see the word that it uses, mark. It uses a different word.
Daniel 8:25. Daniel 8:25, right?
Yes.
See, through his cunning, he shall cause deceit to prosper under his rule, and he shall exalt himself in his heart. He shall destroy many in their prosperity. He shall even rise against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without human means.
Okay, that's when Antiochus was killed. So now, when you in the King James Version, let me show you. The word that you had there was cunning.
Yeah, cunning.
You said, okay. Watch what it says here. And through his policy, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. In the King James Version, it uses the word policy. I wanted that word because that's the word we are familiar with today. America has policies set up, different policies, and that is the mark, which all goes back to sin, Papa. It all goes back to sin. It's an evil agreements that the nations must agree to. So when we go back to verse 17, Revelation.
Okay,
17.
Revelation 17. And that no one may buy or sell, except the one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number.
The name of the beast. When you go to Revelation 17, I'm going to show you the name. Verse 5. Revelation 17 verse 5 gives you the name.
Revelation 17 verse 5. And on her forehead a name was written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of all harlots, and of the abominations of the earth. So
now, there is a union between America and Rome. So when I say Rome, to the Vatican. It says mystery, because when you tell our people that America is Babylon, the real Babylon, nobody believes it. They say, no, that's not. They say it's the Catholic Church, but it's not America. The reason people think it's not America is because it seems like America takes care of everyone. If you need money, like Israel needs money, America gives them, what, $70 billion. They give money here. They give aid here. And people go, oh, America's a nice and great people. Here in America, they give us, the blacks, welfare. They give us free public housing, things of that nature. And people go, oh, this is a good place. This is why it's a mystery, because nobody believes this is Babylon. It says mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots. This place sends out, along with the Vatican, they send out Jesuits and priests and religious systems to spy out the land. This is what they do. The religious Jesuits, for example, they were the ones that were sent out during colonial times to spy out the land, befriend the natives, befriend the people, and they would draw maps and to give history or knowledge to America or France or whoever, the layout of the land, who was strong, who was weak, how they could use them to benefit Europe. You understand?
Yeah.
This is when it goes into the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And wherever America goes, like in when they conquered Saddam Hussein, okay, now where's the place where they conquered him from? Around Afghanistan. What's the place?
Iraq.
Over in Iraq.
Yeah.
America started to set up Christian rulership. Like they set up Christmas there. Many places, some of those places started celebrating Christmas for the first time. And behind that, they started opening up pornography shops.
And
things of that, so the nations were angry. Go ahead.
I think also in Kuwait.
That's it. Kuwait. I knew someone that came. That's it. Kuwait. That's what I wanted there. But this is what America started to do. And this is what they do continuously. Okay? So that is the name of the beast. Babylon the Great. Babylon the Great is America. You have to go with America. You have to accept what they say. So when we go back to verse 18 again.
Okay. Verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666.
Right. So that number is 666. This goes back to the other principles that we read in the Bible when we go to Revelation 6, verse 12. Let's go there. This number represents the white man. Okay? It does not represent an individual white man. It represents them as a race, a collective. Watch. And it all represents destruction.
Okay. Revelation chapter 6, verse 12. I looked when he opened the sixth seal, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became like a blood. Now, verse 13. And the stars of heaven fell on the earth, as a fig tree drops in its late figs, when it is shaken by a mighty wind. Now, verse 14. I said, then the sky receded as a scroll, when it is rolled up, and every mountain and highland was moved out of its place.
So this sixth seal, which represents the first six, represents destruction. You see that?
Yeah.
That's why it talks about the great earthquake, the sun becoming black, the moon becoming as blood. And when it says the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, that's talking about their satellites that's up there. America has satellites around the earth. Those things are going to get knocked out of space and it's going to fall to the earth. That's what it's going into. And verse 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll. That's when a bomb drops and you see that mushroom cloud. You understand?
Yeah.
So that is the first six. The sixth seal represents the first six. Now let's go to the second one, Revelation 9:13.
Revelation 9:13. Revelation 9:13. Then the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before God. 14. Saying to the sixth angel who had a trumpet, release the four angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates. 15. So the four angels who had been prepared for the hour and the day and the month and the year were released to kill a third of mankind. 16. Now the number of the army of the horsemen was 200 million. I heard the number of them.
So now, this also is talking about World War III. So the sixth angel was sounding the trumpet represents the second six. It's still going into destruction. Destruction. Now let's get the third six in Revelation 16 and 12.
Revelation 16 and 12. Then the sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and its water was dried up, so that the way of the kings from the east might be prepared. 13. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs coming out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet.
So now also, when we read verse 12 about the great river Euphrates being dried up, this is why, if you notice, what's that terrorist group? ISIS.
ISIL, yeah.
They're trying to gain access or control all the dams along the Euphrates River to cut off the water supply. This is what they're trying to do. Now, ISIS or ISIL is funded by America as well, okay? They have technology that they should not have, okay? And they're trying to get control of the Euphrates River, okay? And they say every year the river is getting somewhat smaller. But the dams are there to totally dry it up, to cut it off. So it's preparing the way for the kings to fight, the nations to fight, okay? So that represents the third sixth, the sixth angel which had the vial. That's what it's talking about. It's all destruction. Because this white man, that's who it represents. 666, that's his similitude that represents him. That's an allegory that represents him. It's a number of destruction, okay?
Yeah.
So, for example, okay, when you go to Romans 9, look at Romans 9.
Romans 9, verse 13. Romans 9:13, right?
Yes, and read that.
Okay, just a moment, because it's very small, so... Yeah.
You need the bigger glasses.
Yeah. Romans 9:13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau I have hated.
Go ahead.
Verse 14. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? Certainly not. For he says to Moses, I will have mercy on whomever I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whomever I will have compassion.
So verse 15 is explaining verse 13.
Yeah.
He's having mercy on Jacob, and he's not having mercy on Esau. You got that so far?
Yeah.
Read on.
Now verse 16. So then it is not of him who wills, nor of him who runs, but of God who shows mercy. 17. For the scripture says to the Pharaoh, for this very purpose I have raised you up, that I may show my power in you, and that my name may be declared in all the earth.
Now, Paul is giving us a similitude there, because by this time, remember, Pharaoh was destroyed already. Who was the new Pharaoh during the time of Paul?
That is Rome, Edom.
Right, Rome, Edom. Remember, Rome was the most powerful nation, right? Remember we read in Revelation 13 how Rome was wounded by a sword and they lived. They came back in power.
Does it?
It says, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up. America has been raised up in power. America and the European nations, which is Esau, have been raised up in power. Economic power and military power. You understand?
Yeah.
They are Esau. They are the new Pharaoh on the earth. Read on.
Okay. Verse 17. For the scripture says to the Pharaoh, for this very purpose I have raised you up, that I may show my power in you, and that my name may be declared in all the earth. 18. Therefore he has mercy on whom he wills, and whom he wills he hardens.
So he's going to have mercy on Jacob. He's going to harden Esau. Yeah. Esau, today, we call them the white man. That's what he's talking about. Go ahead.
Okay. 19. You will say to me then, why does he still find fault? For who has resisted his will? But indeed, oh man, who are you to reply against God? Will the thing formed say to him who formed it, why have you made me like this?
Remember, he's still talking about Jacob and Esau. Watch, read on.
Does not the potter have power over the clay, from the same lamb to make one vessel for honor and another for dishonor.
Who is the vessel he made? Who is the vessel he made for honor?
That is Jacob.
Who's the vessel to dishonor?
That is Edom, Esau.
Right. Read on.
22. Also, what if God, waiting to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering, and the vessels of wrath prepared for destruction?
Who's the vessels of wrath prepared for destruction?
That is Edom.
Right. They were created for destruction. That was it. That goes back to the 6. It is a number of destruction. They were created to be destroyed in the end. That's why they were made.
That is like the precept in Obadiah chapter 1 verse.
Yes,
18.
yes, exactly. And verse 18 there.
Yeah.
It says, there shall be none remaining of Esau. Thus saith the Lord, because the Lord hath spoken it. So they were created. Imagine that. You were only made to be killed and destroyed. Well, man, this is why the white man fights against the truth of this Bible. They don't want the world to know their purpose is to be rulers as Pharaoh and then be destroyed, so that God can make his name praised in the earth.
But we love that oppressor very much. We have learned all his ways.
Yes.
And we have so much love. You know, we are living in Europe. And sometimes, you know, when you speak something, like as you were saying of the food stamps and everything that they give. In Belgium here, it's the same thing. If you don't have a job, we have a very good social security system that takes care of it. So let's say, for instance, that you are preaching and you are saying something against the system. How are you going to be tagged?
Right.
How can somebody giving you social aid, how can you preach vile against the person?
True.
So this is what is going on. But they've also forgotten that when Israelites were enslaved in Egypt, Egyptians were black people.
Right.
When Israel was enslaved in Babylon the Great, they were the Ethiopians. They were the same black people.
Right.
Now, but the anti-beast, who was the number 666, when we tell our brethren he is the white man today, then here comes the problem.
Yes. Yep. You're right. Absolutely right.
So this is where the hate preaching comes from. Yes.
Because they love this man so much.
Yeah. You know, the things that we are saying, you know, there's a lot of, garbage going on YouTube. I know it is from the Jesuit. They try to explain this, the number of the beast, the 666 is a chip. You know, all sort of fantasy stories. But the one thing our listeners must understand, that the beast that we are discussing is full of mystery and deceit.
Yes.
So there's no way this Bible will write maybe America. But like we were saying, in allegory, in similitudes. And it is these allegories and the similitude that we want it to make it simple for our listeners to digest and to understand the truth.
Correct. The funny you mentioned the chip. I asked the brother, because he was telling me about the chip thing, and I saw news reports about a chip trying to be made. So I asked the brother, because remember it said, whoever takes the mark will be cast into the lake of fire, right?
Yeah.
In Revelation 14. Remember that?
Yeah.
So I asked him, I said, in the beginning from Genesis, what got man cast out of the garden? He said, sin. I said, okay. Why did Israel go into slavery? He goes, sin. I said, okay. When you get to Revelation, what is going to cause us to be cast into the lake of fire? He pauses and he goes, the chip. I said, brother, it makes no sense. You tell me about sin all from Genesis up. Then you get to the last book of the Bible and tell me about a chip. I said, no. I said, it's still talking about sin. The policies, the evil policies this man has set up. And I asked him this question. I said, America has enemies, nations that don't like America. Can America go to Russia or Arabia and say, put this chip in your hand, let me control you? Do you think Russia or any of these nations will let them put a chip in their hand to control them? No, it makes no sense.
It is impossible. Because Vladimir Putin will not even stand loose to come and put that chip there. Because while America is funding ISIS, it's also supporting Assad.
That's right. Exactly.
So it is practically impossible.
Exactly. And I try to tell our brothers that they don't get it. Like,
yeah. You know,
it's crazy.
Yeah. You know, Bishop, thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very, very, very much. These things that we are discussing, you know, I have a lot of pastor friends. I have this thing, but they need to wake up. Yes. It is not, they love God. I know some of them are my friends. They love God. And practically, I have never found anything faulty with them because I know them. I know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Some of them even use their own pocket money to establish a church, to buy furniture, to hire a room, to put nice gadgets there. But sometimes when it comes to the understanding of the sum of these things, it is very hard for them to digest.
Right. I'm going to help you with that. And let's get Psalms 111 verse 10. This is why the understanding lacks in your friends and many of my and our people as a whole. Psalms 111 verse 10.
Okay. Psalm 111 verse 10, right?
Yes.
Is it the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom? A good understanding have all those who do his commandments. His praise endures forever.
A good understanding of all those that do his commandments. In your mind, if you don't want to keep God's commandments, you're going to stumble in the scriptures and not understand. This is a spiritual book. In order to understand this spiritual book, you must start doing God's commandments. You cannot get the understanding any other way. This is why you have our people get faulty thinking and they love the oppressor because they have not been doing the commandments to open up their spirit. You understand?
Yeah, it is very clear. Right. I think we have discussed a lot, and you know this teaching is. And any time you do a teaching, it is very excellent. It is deep.
But
at the same time, we also ask God to give us the understanding to follow his commandments, to give us the power to follow his commandments, to overcome sin.
Yes.
It is then that we can understand and do his will. So that the next kingdom, we can take the next kingdom.
Right. That's right. Exactly. Yeah. Look at Job 36:15.
Job 36:15.
Yes.
Job 36:15, right?
Yes.
He delivers the poor in their affliction and opens their ears in oppression.
You see that?
Yeah.
The Most High delivers us and opens our ears, opens our understanding in oppression. It takes us to suffer spiritually and physically in order for us to want to be willing to hear the scriptures. This is why the white man gives many of our people gifts, financial gifts. So they say, I'm not oppressed, I'm not afflicted, so they will never give ear. It's hard for them to give ear to the understanding of what's being taught in the Bible. They say, no, God is all-inclusive, God is all-loving for everyone, he loves everybody, and we ask them, well, why are our people oppressed? They go, I don't know, I'm not oppressed. I have money, I have economics, you don't. Shame on you. Go out and get some. This is what they say, okay? But that is why the Bible says a gift destroyeth the heart, okay?
Yeah.
Let's look at, go ahead, what are you going to say, Papa?
No. Go ahead first.
In Lamentation.
Yeah.
Go ahead, what you say?
Yeah, actually, I belong to a church group here. I belong to a church. And today we had a visitor. He's a white man. Now, there's one thing I want to know. Do you entertain white people in IUIC?
No, we don't entertain them. No. They cannot be trusted. They cannot be trusted.
Okay.
They always come with something. It's like a liberal. They say, oh, I do understand. I understand. But like during the time of Martin Luther King, He had white people holding arm in arm with him. Those white people, those nuns, and they would go report to the FBI things that Martin Luther King was saying and doing behind closed doors. This is what they do. Not that Martin Luther King was trying to do any type of terrorism. He wasn't. But they were still trying to portray him as this possible new black messiah that needed to be destroyed. This is what these people do. They are Jacob. We are Jacob. They are Esau. There's a natural hatred that's there between us. That's what the Bible says. The only white people we entertain, their fathers better be our people. If their mother is white, okay, but their father must be our people.
Yeah, so in this you can see that the COINTELPRO is still working.
Yes.
Okay.
COINTELPRO, yes. It's an executive order called 333. That's the new executive order for COINTELPRO.
Okay.
Where they monitor all information about you, okay, and they put it into a computer data system there's a data system just on you, Papani, and me.
Yeah.
They record everything. Okay, that is the new COINTELPRO. Okay. Look at Lamentations 4:17.
Okay. Lamentations 4:17, right?
Yes.
Still our eyes failed us, watching vainly for our help. In our watching, we watched for a nation that could not save us.
That's our people. We watch for Europe and America to save us. The Bible says they cannot save us. There's only one Savior, that's Christ. The same man that oppressed us, we look to them for wisdom. We look to them for aid. That's why it says, as for us, our eyes has yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. These people cannot save us. We have to stop depending on these people. That's the gift that destroyeth the heart. Stop depending on them. Because it will start to twist your thoughts.
This is also very deep. It is very deep. But you know, I have also seen a lot of Israelite groups over there, like the GOCC and the ISUP and all kinds of Israelite groups over there. And I find it that it is very difficult for some of the groups to come to a common peg or a common ground. So how do you also deal with that?
Well, I did a video and I told them, all the groups, that it would be hard for us right now to come together as one, because you have some groups that teach it's okay to rape. I don't know where to get that from. Yes, there's a group named GMS that teaches it is lawful to snatch a woman and rape her. There's other groups that teach, like GOCC, they teach all nations can come in, okay? Then you got other groups like the other name you mentioned. They lie and slander constantly their brothers. Like they did a video that said, I was at a threesome sex party with a transsexual man. That never happened. But they do videos like that to gain attention and notoriety to themselves. That's not of God.
Yeah.
We must do the commandments and teach the commandments. This is why all the groups are separated. Some do commandments. The problem with our people, Papa, is always been God's commandments. That's always been the problem. Some of us want to do it. I'll talk about the commandments, but I won't do them. I'm not going to do it, you know. This is why they show hatred one towards another. This is why they get women, some of them, sex women, get them pregnant and then leave them. These are things we did before we got the understanding of the Bible.
Yeah.
Now that we got the understanding of the Bible, we must be converted in our thinking, change our way of thinking according to God's laws. You understand what I'm saying?
You have to renew your mind.
Yes. Renew our mind, exactly like it says in Ephesians 4:23 and Romans 12:2. Let's read Romans 12:2, please, if we could.
Romans 12, verse 2, eh?
Yes.
And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, That yeah.
That is the problem with many of our Israelite brothers and sisters. We know we Israel, some of us know we Israel, but we're still conformed to this world. We still lie against each other. We show hatred for each other. We slander each other. We gossip about each other. That's being conformed to this world. But being, what's the other word? But be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That means keep God's commandments. That's what Paul is saying. Let your mind be transformed by God's laws so that you will love your neighbor as you love yourself. Okay? The Israelites are lacking here in America.
Because thou shalt not bear false witness against thy brother.
Yes.
That
exactly.
they've been testifying wrongly by doing a video.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And they have no remorse at all. No remorse, you know.
Okay.
So these are the things that keep us divided.
Okay.
But the Most High can change all that overnight, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. You know, is
I know God is it. Remember the seven churches in Asia Minor?
Yeah. In the book of Revelation.
Yes, they had different problems that Christ said, do or do that before I come and judge you. Remember that?
Yeah.
It is the same thing today. There is several churches scattered around that the Lord is, He's dealing with all of us, but He wants, whatever is wrong with us, we have to correct it by His laws.
Okay.
Until by the time He returns, we must get it right.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Bishop, and we are going to wrap up the show. We are going to end the show, and we bid you farewell in your journey to Ghana.
Yes, thank you.
Can you also advertise it again for our listeners so that they can monitor you when you are out there in Ghana?
Yes. Let me find. We're going to be there. We're flying out today, Lord's will, life lasts, and we will be in Kumasi from January 23rd to January 31st. Okay, we're going to be at Bantama High Street. And a cultural center. We're going to be there.
Okay.
And if they want more information, they can call 02-66-777-388. Again, that's 02-66-777-388. And they can visit our website, www.israelunite.org. Okay? And remember, Papani, we love our people. We love the other Israelite camps. Yeah. Although there's problems between us, we love them dearly. We pray for them every day.
Okay, Okay, so there's one thing also I want to know. Do you hold prayer sections and do you hold prayer sections in IUIC?
Yes, we do. We before we open up class, we go give ourselves to prayer. We also have something we do called prayer and fasting. We do once a month for our own personal sins and things we need deliverance from in this captivity.
Okay, and it's like when as the Bible says, it said when any of you is ill or is sick, is it the elders must place their hands on them and pray for it. Do you do all those things?
Yes, we pray for them and anoint them with oil. Yes, olive oil.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
Not pork oil, olive oil.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Thank you very much.
Yes.
We pray. Yeah, our prayer is that, the revelation of the secret book is the most important thing. The understanding is the most important thing. You see, he who wanders out of understanding shall walk in the congregation of the dead. Yes. So what I can say is that a lot of us, we are walking in our dead state because of the lack of understanding.
Correct.
So thank God very much that He has given you this wisdom, and we keep on praying in our spirit, in our soul, in our everything. For God to give us that spiritual bond, that someday when Christ comes, all of us are going to be there.
Yes, exactly. Hey, tell your listeners to help us set something up in Belgium, because we'll fly out there, but we need the resources, the money to help get out there.
No problem. I will do that grounds work. I'm going to gather all the guys. A lot of the guys and in other church denominations. You understand? But you know, in church, at first we were in one church. Then you can understand. Now the church is split. And we have formed various churches. But we still love each other. So we come together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather all the youth. Because the youth is the one who actually need this kind of truth to push it forward. Because the older generation, sometimes they want to stick to that old kind of fashion of understanding. So the youth is the most important people we want to gather, and so I will pray for God to give me the power to gather them, and you know, to find some resources to push this truth.
All praises. Thank you, Papa Lee. All praises to the Most High. I thank God for meeting you. All praises. All praises.
Okay. Thank you very much, and we see you when you come back from Ghana.
Okay, keep growing that beard.
Yeah, you know, but you know, but mine cannot grow like, you know, that is the problem, man. It's like a scattered desert, man. It's not bushy.
Okay, shalom, Papa.
Yeah, shalom. Yeah, praise to the Most High.